Falcons, and your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Before we begin tonight's duel, we ask that you all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight is senior night, and the Elmhurst wrestling team would like to take a moment to honor a pair of seniors on the 2014-15 squad. Max Lozano. Max is a 4-year member of the Blue Jays wrestling team, competing at both 141 and 149 pounds. He has compiled 21 victories in his career while posting a 4-4 record this season. Last season, he placed 4th at the Al Hankey Invitational and 8th at the Concordia University Invitational. He is a graduate of Downers Grove North High School and is the son of Amelia and Leroy Lozano. Max Lozano. Matt Quigley. Matt is a 4-year member of the Elmhurst wrestling team who has competed at both 131 and 141 pounds. He has placed every year at the Al Hankey Invitational, including a 2nd place finish at 141 pounds last season. This season, he has been starting at 141 pounds for the Blue Jays and has compiled a 10-4 overall record with 7 wins coming back in. He is a graduate of Lincoln Way Central High School and is the son of Tim and Julie Quigley. Matt Quigley. Let's have one last round of applause for your senior members of the Elmhurst College Wrestling Team. Let's meet today's starting lineups. At 125 pounds for the Blue Jays, Anthony Munoz facing Rex Ryder of Falcons. At 133 pounds for the Blue Jays, Carter Beebe against Sean Ambrosio. At 141 pounds, Matt Quigley of the Blue Jays against Josh Curcio. 149 pounds, Blake Santee of Elmhurst and Quinton Ruick of Concordia. At 157 pounds, Nick DiNardo of the Blue Jays and Pierce Goldfreder of the Falcons. At 165 pounds, Alex Maynard of the Blue Jays against Casey Keneally of Concordia. At 174 pounds, Mitch Morris of the Blue Jays against Mason Birchiner. At 184 pounds, Bobby Schillinger of the Blue Jays against Mason Baumgartner of the Falcons. 197 pounds, Luis Montoya of the Blue Jays against Jake Brudler of Concordia. And at 285 pounds, Zach Urbanski of the Blue Jays against Jonathan Norfolker of the Falcons. Blue Jays head coach Steve Marinetti, assisted by John Jones, Chris Lucia, Matt Kuchert, and Brian Prater. Head coach of the Falcons is Corey Mangrel, assisted by Kyle Becker, Brad Becker, and Brian Bannister. Our official for this evening's duel is Ryan McKeel. Our first duel at 125 pounds, Anthony Munoz against Max Reiderer.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Elmhurst College Wrestling on BlueJayTV.com. My name's Luke Tanaka, and I am delighted to have you alongside as the Elmhurst College Blue Jays face off against the Concordia University of Wisconsin Falcons. That looks like a good takedown there from Anthony Munoz. Freshman from Elmhurst, 125 pounds, facing off against Max Reiderer of Concordia. Munoz, a freshman from Zion, Illinois, and Zion Benton High School, has a 6-8 overall record. So getting close to the edge there, but it looks like Reiderer wants to push it back inside. Accumulating over 40 seconds of riding time thus far is Munoz. Early going, you'll see the bout score on the left of the team name. The team score will go on the right. Minute 45 left in the first period, and Munoz still on top here, but it looks like an escape is going to be converted. Not quite, they were out. Escape was not given, but they will have to check for some blood on Munoz. So Reiderer is a freshman, 1-9 record. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where he's from Milwaukee Lutheran High School. Both wrestlers getting checked out. Obviously no blood allowed on the mat. Quick little timeout, 1:38 left in the first. 2-0 Munoz on the takedown. I don't believe the escape was given. And it was not, so Munoz will start on top after this little break. We're back underway. Munoz still strong and did a good job of forcing outside the circle in order to contain his on top advantage. As I look for a second there, Reiderer might have gotten out of that. Both these wrestlers are freshmen. Getting close to near fall points here is Munoz. There's 3 for a near fall for Munoz. Well done by the Blue Jay freshman. He leads 5-0 in the bout. A key first bout. Blue Jays have at times struggled to find points on the team scoreboard. Down goes Reiderer outside of the mat, straight onto the hardwood that's below the mat. Fan in the front row tried to make sure that his head was okay. Very smart call from the fan there, making sure his head didn't go and hit the hardwood. It came close to it. But accumulating almost 2 minutes of riding time is Munoz, and there is the escape, 1 point given for that. And so it's 5-1, but 2 minutes and a second of riding time from Munoz, and he's already back at it with 35 left in the period. Down he goes, and that's a 2. You'll hear the fans in the background yell 2. 2 points for a takedown. 20 seconds to go in the period. Almost 2.5 minutes of riding time for Munoz if he can keep this up, at least through the end of the period. It is senior day for Elmhurst and the Blue Jays. 2 seniors were honored today, Max Lozano and Matt Quigley, and we'll get into more about them in a little bit, as that's the end of the first period. Great period from Munoz. 7-1 he leads, does the Elmhurst wrestler. Elmhurst defers, and Concordia will choose down. Munoz checking something with the official, and he looks like he's just going to let him come up, so that's going to be 1 point, but they will start at even in this second period. Over 2 minutes and 30 seconds of riding time already for Munoz, not needing more to gain the extra point. So he will instead decide to stay up, try to force another takedown to extend his lead. Currently will be a win by decision, only 5 points separate the 2 wrestlers in the bout currently. Concordia coach is yelling for Ryder to finish this takedown. He's got the leg, and down goes Munoz, and that's a takedown, and 2 for Concordia. Nice job by Ryder getting himself back into this duel at 7-4. Elmhurst with a 4-2 overall record. Concordia coming in with a 2-1 record. One common opponent, it was Wheaton College. Elmhurst defeated Wheaton here in the last bout of the duel at 285. And Concordia lost in the last duel. Or should I say last bout of the duel to Wheaton. So that one common opponent, Elmhurst defeating Wheaton earlier in the season when Wheaton was ranked 12th in the country. And Concordia falling to them later in the season. Out of the circle, so Munoz will start on bottom. Ryder gets up immediately, but then Ryder takes him right back down. Ryder is still chipping away at that riding time, but needs 45 more seconds, which will include some of the third period if he wants to eliminate that 1 point for riding time. 7-4 to Munoz, the Elmhurst wrestler. 10 seconds. Two and one, and that'll be the end of the second period. So Elmhurst and Munoz will have the chance to pick here. And Munoz is gonna pick down, getting the call from head coach of the Blue Jays, Steve Marinetti. Marinetti has had a ton of success here at Elmhurst. His 13th season. 2-time D3 Coach of the Year. Munoz close to getting out of it, but could not quite do it. And jostling for position are the 2 wrestlers, but under a minute of riding time is coming up, and it looks like he's going to get under the minute. So great job by Ryder to eliminate over 2 minutes of riding time. And with 1:30 to go, still 7-4 to Anthony Munoz, the Elmhurst freshman from Zion. Munoz trying to get out of the hold. Separating the hands, and there it is. An escape and a point for Munoz, leading 8-4. Still with the 25-second riding time advantage. Comfortable with 1 minute to go. Ryder trying to finish another takedown, could not quite do so, and they're back at neutral. 35 seconds. It would be a decision win for Elmhurst if it stopped right here. Ryder looking for something. Wrestlers jostling. Have not left the circle quite yet with 5, with 4, with 2, and with 1. And Anthony Munoz is going to get the win here. Win by decision, 8-4 for the Elmhurst wrestler. So 3-0 Blue Jays. The next bout at 133 pounds heavily favors Concordia. Carter Beebe facing off against Sean Ambrosio. Ambrosio.
Just to remind fans, we have the team score in the upper top half of the scoreboard, and on the lower corners are the
Sean Ambrosio has gone to the D3 NCAA championships all 3 years. He is a senior this year, 7th in the NCAA poll at 133 pounds. He's wrestled at 125 pounds each of his first 3 years. And was an All-American last year with a 19-7 overall record at 125 pounds. Beebe hanging with him so far. Ambrosio moving up from 125 to 133 this season and has had no problems doing so. He's 11-1 on the year. Beebe, 4-5 overall record this year. He's a junior from Bolingbrook and Lyons Township. 2-4 overall record as a junior, 4-8 as a freshman for 10-17 overall as a Blue Jay. And at neutral, they are with 1:45 to go in the first period. Still no score in this bout. 3-0 Blue Jays overall. Anthony Munoz's 8-4 decision win at 125. Beebe checking scoreboard just to see where he's at in terms of time, halfway through the first period. 3-0 Elmhurst. And no score in this bout. Ambrosio, heavily favored, is a 3-time Division III tournament appearance and nationals appearances, including All-America honors at 125 pounds last year. He went 33-7 his sophomore year. Did not wrestle in as many tournaments or as many matches last season, going 19-7. But did well at the end of the year at nationals during the All-America honors. 45 left in the first period, still no score. And at neutral they are once again. Beebe just hanging around so far with the number 7th ranked Ambrosio, number 7 at 133 pounds in the country. 20 seconds left in the first. Ambrosio looking offensive here. Ambrosio is a senior from San Antonio, Texas, and Ronald Reagan High School. Recruited to come up north to Concordia of Wisconsin and wrestle here. And coaching staff has done a great job with him, and he's had a seamless transition to 133 pounds as he ends the first period. Ambrosio chooses down for Concordia. Good crowd on hand for senior day. We'll get more into the two seniors in a moment as Matt Quigley, slated at 141 pounds, is next. As Ambrosio gets on the board first with 1 point for an escape as he started the period at down and only took about 5 seconds to get out of that. Both wrestlers just content with staying in a neutral position for most of the first period, and same to do so here in the second. You can tell Ambrosio is more on the offensive side, but has not been able to convert on a takedown quite yet. Elmhurst in the darker blue. Both teams wear blue, but Elmhurst blue just slightly darker. Elmhurst just unveiled a whole entirely new logo and entirely new look for their athletics. Just a lighter blue, but a different Blue Jay as well. So we'll be sure to look out for that in future years. Lots of alumni, lots of other athletes in the crowd today, lots of family. And there's Ambrosio taking down for the first one. There's the 2 given by the referee. Ryan McKeel is the referee tonight. And Ambrosio now has a 3-0 advantage in his accumulated riding time. Ambrosio doing well to keep Beebe in a defensive position this whole time, and finally went for the leg late here in the second period. Was able to convert on the takedown. Just 3-0 lead. Currently just a win by decision if the result holds for Ambrosio as the second period ticks down to the final seconds. And there it is. So Beebe will have the chance to start down or up. And it looks like Beebe will start down. Carter Beebe, junior from Bolingbrook. Heavy underdog in this bout. Looking to get up, but Ambrosio's all over him. Could not do so. The Ambrosio, reigning All-American from San Antonio, Texas. Converting himself to 133 pounds this year. Looking to get Beebe onto his back. And in doing so, also putting himself slightly vulnerable, and that's why the Elmhurst coaching staff is up and yelling. Trying to get Beebe to perhaps change the momentum of this match. Just 1:17 remaining in the bout. Over a minute of riding time already accumulated by Ambrosio, and the escape is converted, but Beebe's really got to go. Down 3-1, but the riding time certainly not in favor of him with a minute to go in the third. Minute 30 of riding time for Ambrosio. 3-0 Elmhurst in the overall duel with a decision win at 125 pounds by Anthony Munoz. Ambrosio at it again. Looking perhaps for the pin there, but instead will settle with a takedown. 5-1 he leads. Looking for more in the next 30 seconds to perhaps stretch it to a major decision. Ambrosio trying to sweep the right leg around. And somehow get Beebe on his back, but it's only 15 seconds to do any more damage. Beebe trying to hold on and just leave it at a decision. It's 5-1 for Ambrosio. Ambrosio almost flopping up on the mat, trying to get Beebe to do something, but it looks like Beebe's just going to hold on, and he does. It's a 5-1 win for Ambrosio. And that will knot the dual score at 3. And we have our one and only senior who is wrestling tonight. It's Matt Quigley.
Josh Curcio for Elmhurst, Matt Quigley.
Matt Quigley, one of the seniors that was honored earlier today. Quigley always firing early, and he's really firing here. Has not been given the takedown quite yet, still not at 0, but immediately Quigley going for the takedown right away. Quigley, when I talked to him earlier in the year, had really high hopes for this season. saying he wanted to go to nationals. And here he's flipping over the Concordia wrestler. And there's the 2. He's facing Josh Curcio. And boy, Quigley almost had the pin there if he could have converted on it, but instead will settle for the takedown. Quigley still on top, trying to get outside of the circle before Curcio breaks, and he will. So Quigley will start back on top after the stoppage. 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in this first period. All knotted at 3 as Carter Beebe, the heavy underdog at 133, did well. Just hold his match to decision, as he was facing a reigning All-American. Good job by Beebe in that spot, trying to get a win for the seniors on Senior Day. Quigley is one of those seniors. There were 2 seniors honored. One of them, Max Lozano, is not wrestling. We'll tell you about him at some point during the duel, as Quigley will let go and an escape given to Curcio. So it's 2-1 to the Elmhurst wrestler. Out they go. They'll start in a neutral position. Quigley does like to work quickly. We'll see if he does so here. Going for the takedown is Curcio. Quigley trying to flip it up to get on top, and they're out, so it'll be another neutral position start at the center of the mat. 50 seconds remain. First period, 2-1 to Quigley, the Elmhurst wrestler. Remember, Elmhurst in the darker blue, Concordia of Wisconsin, and the Falcons in the lighter blue. A little bit more about Quigley, one of the seniors honored today. Competed at both 133 and 141 pounds. He's placed every year at the Al Hakey Invitational that Elmhurst hosts here every year, including a second place finish last year at 141 pounds. He's been starting at 141 for the Blue Jays and has a 10-4 overall record this season. And 7 of his 10 wins have come via pin. Quigley has done a great job. He really worked hard in the offseason. As I mentioned, I talked to him earlier, his goal, get to nationals, be an All-American. High hopes for himself in his wrestling, in his final season of wrestling. That ends the first period. Quigley defers to Curcio, and Curcio will start down. Quigley already with 48-second riding time advantage. Quigley was 7-13, had an off year last year, which really propelled him to work really hard this offseason, knowing that he was his senior and final year. 10-7 his sophomore year, and then wrestled 133 pounds in his freshman year and was 8-6, so he's 35-32 overall in his career. A 10-4 overall record this year. The escape is given, and we're all knotted up at 2, but Quigley has a minute and 25 seconds of riding time advantage. Quigley, one of the seniors, honored earlier today, is Quigley trying to convert on the takedown here. Originally trying to get Curcio on his back, did not do so. Both wrestlers still jostling for this key takedown here late in the second. 40 seconds remain in the second. Now it looks like Curcio has an advantage. Curcio hoping for the 2. Ryan McKeel says they're still at neutral. No one with an advantage so far. You can see Steve Marinetti in the top right portion of your screen yelling encouragement and instructions to Quigley. Key turning point in this match with 7 on the clock. Elmhurst fans trying to encourage the referee to give Quigley 2, but it looks like the clock is going to run out on him, and it will. No points given. It's still 2-all. Quigley with the minute and 25-second advantage in riding time. So Quigley will start down, and Steve Marinetti, head coach of the Blue Jays, mentions 25 seconds. Quigley, in reality, 25 seconds. He can get out of this hold. And he does a great job here. And he's going to get a 2. He's going to get a takedown. What a great move by Quigley. 4-2 to the Elmhurst wrestler, and he's got more riding time accumulated. So not only did Quigley get out of it, he also got a takedown to extend his lead. A virtual 5-2 lead here with 1:45 of riding time and 1:30 left in the third period. Curcio, currently trailing for the Falcons, is from Granger, Indiana, and Penn High School. Sophomore is a 12-7 record this season, much better than his 2-18 record he had last season. Doing a good job of turning around his campaign with the Falcons, now starting for the Falcons at 141. 1 minute to go. Quigley trying to hold on. Curcio trying to force Quigley onto his back. It's a roll, and Quigley stays. 2 minutes and 30 seconds of riding time, so he'll automatically get that point. .30 seconds to go. Quigley holding on. 4-2, he leads. .15 seconds left for Quigley in one of his final dual matches here at R.A. Fagnall Hall. They will host the CCIW championships, but this very well could be his final duel at home. 2 seconds, 1 second, and Quigley is going to win. The escape will be given. So the final score will be 5-3. And Matt Quigley, the senior on senior day, gives the Blue Jays a 6-3 lead. They win by decision. Next up, 149 pounds, Blake Santee of Elmhurst, and Quentin Lueck.
For Elmhurst, Blake Santee.
Blake Santee, a junior from Roselle, Illinois, and Lake Park High School, already has the takedown. Just 10 seconds in, it's already 2-0 to the Elmhurst wrestler. Santee, a great find for Coach Marinetti and the Elmhurst Blue Jays, an All-American at Harper College in his sophomore season. Placed 8th at the NJCAA championships last season. So what a great find by Marinetti to get him. Santee's been starting at 149 this whole year. Santee already with a quick 2-0 advantage and 33 seconds of riding time as they head outside the circle, and will start. Quentin Lueck, Saukville, Wisconsin is where he calls home from Port Washington High School. Just a freshman, 7-6 record. Check that, 7-8 record, I should say. Santee has the advantage right now, accumulating riding time, heading about 2 minutes to go in the first period. Santee 6-4 on the season. Six to 3 Elmhurst. We've got all our wins by decision so far. It was Munoz 8-4 for the Blue Jays. Anthony Munoz, the freshman, starting the duel off well for Elmhurst, and the escape given. Quentin Lueck able to earn the escape, gets 1 point. It's 2-1. Santee once again going for the takedown, but they're outside, so they'll start at neutral. As we mentioned, Anthony Munoz, 8-4 decision win in the first bout of the day. Sean Ambrosio followed for Concordia, tying the score at 3 with a 6-1 decision win. And then the senior on senior day, Matt Quigley, able to get a win. 5-3 was his win over Josh Curcio of the Falcons. Here goes Santee once again. Lueck trying to get outside the circle. Santee trying to convert on the takedown before that happens. Nothing given by Ryan McKeel, the official, quite yet. Santee trying to finish the takedown. Nothing given. Grabs the right leg, and there it is. Another takedown for Santee. And then he converts just before they go outside the circle with 30 seconds to go. 1:22 of riding time already accumulated and a 4-1 advantage for the Elmhurst wrestler. A junior college All-American, Santee. Santee staying on top here with 15 left in the first. And at this point, I'd expect both wrestlers are just checking the clock to see the final seconds tick away. So to start the second period, there it is, and the second period will begin. Concordia will have the chance to pick, and they're going to go down, knowing that Santee already has 1:53 of riding time accumulated. But Santee will start on top nonetheless and try to continue. Perhaps pull some moves from the top, but over 2 minutes of riding time now, 4-1 advantage for the Elmhurst wrestler in the bout. Figure this will be a good time, as this is the weight class that Max Lozano has wrestled at in the past, as an escape is given to Concordia. And now it's 4-2 as Lueck is rewarded for his escape. Lueck going for the right leg. Santee trying to circle around. Santee instead gets to a neutral position, and the two wrestlers will stay there. Max Lozano, who's currently working the PA. If you can believe it, he does it all, does Max Lozano. The 2 is given, and Concordia cannot believe it. The takedown is given. It looked like it may have been outside the circle. It was very close. But the takedown is given to Santee, 6-2 the advantage. Concordia's head coach, Corey Van Graal, could not believe it, had his hands on his head. But the takedown is given. Ryan McKeel, pretty quick to give that takedown, and there it is. 6-2 to Santee, the Elmhurst wrestler, with 20 seconds to go in the second period. Ten seconds to go. Santee still working. Lueck trying to get out of it. It has been unsuccessful so far, as we hit 3 minutes of riding time for Santee as the period comes to a close. We'll use this time briefly between periods to talk to you about Max Lozano. I've worked with Max a lot, in both as a student, as he's a student worker in the Elmhurst athletic department. He does a great job there. Also a very good wrestler as well, a 4-year member of the Blue Jay wrestling team. Competed at 141 and 149 as Santee hits an escape, make it 7-2 to the Blue Jay wrestler. As for Lozano, 21 victories in his career, 4-4 this season. Placed 4th at the Al Hankey Invitational and 8th at the Concordia University Invitational last season. And Santi looking for the near fall, but he'll just get the takedown. So 2 more for Santi, extending his lead to 9-2. If the result holds, it would be a major decision for Santi with the extra point for riding time. Max Lozano was accompanied by his parents, Amelia and Leroy Lozano, as he came out for senior day, and then immediately after had to come help with the music at the scorer's table. So Lozano, do-it-all member of Elmhurst College and the Elmhurst Athletic Department. Not only does he wrestle, but he also helps out at events. So outside go the wrestlers with 54 to go. 9-2 lead, but the riding time distinctly in the favor of Blake Santi and Elmhurst. Although if the escape is converted, and it is, as it is right now, Santi needs some sort of points if he wants to win by major decision. And there it is. Santi with another takedown, 11-3, plus the riding time advantage would give him a 9-point win right now. It would be a major decision win for Elmhurst. Applause is given by the fans as Blake Santi gets the major decision win, 12-3. And extends the Elmhurst team lead. Great job by Santi, All-American in junior college last season, to extend the Blue Jay lead. 10-3 now. Elmhurst, his win over Quentin Lueck.
And from Elmhurst, Nick DiNardo.
Nick DiNardo, wrestling at 157 pounds. And I'll tell you what, DiNardo, this is exactly the weight class that he's more comfortable being in. He was at 165. And outside of the circle they go. Pierce Holfreder is the opponent of DiNardo. Holfreder is a junior from Las Vegas, Nevada at Faith Lutheran High School. 5-4 overall record this season. He was 15-16 as a sophomore, 10-15 as a junior, or check that, as a freshman, but as a freshman he wrestled 149 pounds. DiNardo has a 39-34 overall record as a Blue Jay. He pinned his first opponent he ever faced. And he went 19-12 as a freshman, 14-15 as a sophomore. As a sophomore, he got 4th in the CCIW. That was last season. The junior is 7-6 overall this season. 2-time 157-pound Al Hankey Invitational champion. And he also finished 6th at NCAA Regionals at 157 as a freshman. So DiNardo back in his 157-pound role. And this really started at the Gator duels where Elmhurst went 2-2 because of the return of Alex Maynard. Maynard is a junior who has a really great story, and we'll get to him right after this duel, right after this bout, as he is up next at 165, and the reason why DiNardo's back wrestling at 157, which is where he's most comfortable. But right now it's Holfreder. Holfreder awarded a takedown. Or check that. And yes, that was right. Holfreder was awarded the takedown, but then DiNardo got one right back, and so we're knotted at 2, just like we were knotted at 0 just a couple seconds ago, with ticking down to about a minute to go in the first period here at 157 pounds. Elmhurst leading the overall duel 10-3. with 2 decision wins, a win by major decision that just happened by Blake Santee, and then Sean Ambrosio, the All-American from Concordia, getting a decision win in 133, the 1 win so far for Concordia of Wisconsin. Elmhurst DiNardo doing a good job. If he finishes out the period on top, he will have over a minute of riding time. DiNardo staying on top with 10 to go in the period. Encouragement and advice being shouted from the crowd and from the bench as the first period comes to a close. 2-2 is the score in the bout, but DiNardo of Elmhurst has the advantage as he defers to Concordia, and Concordia will choose down. DiNardo, 3 years. It's been a successful 3 years for him at Elmhurst. The junior from Plainfield, Illinois and Plainfield North, as we mentioned, 2-time 157-pound champion at the Al Hankey Invitational. And we're looking for something here. 2 more points for DiNardo. 4-2 he leads. Very close to a near fall. See what DiNardo chooses here. He is on top. He's accumulating over a minute 45 of riding time with a minute 20 to go in the second period. DiNardo almost did a great job of being very close to the pin. Both wrestlers jostling. Flip over, but they ended up in the same position they just were. 30 to go in the period. DiNardo accumulating plenty of riding time and too much. If he ends the period on top, it will be over 3 minutes, and so he will automatically be given the extra point. 10 seconds left, under 10. 4-2 to DiNardo, the Elmhurst wrestler. Now he's hit over 3 minutes of riding time. The all-important 3 minutes with a 2-minute third period. That means that Holdfreder cannot get out of that hole. And so DiNardo will start on bottom knowing that. Even if Holdfreder uses his right and rides DiNardo for the entirety of this third period, he still won't be able to erase down to a minute of riding time. So 15 minutes in, Holdfreder on top, DiNardo on bottom. DiNardo trying to extend his lead with an escape. And at this point, Holdfreder really needs to go. Either try to get a pin, get a near fall, something to get himself back into this. Down 4-2, but technically 5-2. Good crowd on hand for senior day. Lots of Elmhurst fans cheering on the 2 Elmhurst seniors and the rest of the team as well. Lots of student athletes out here enjoying some wrestling action on a Friday night. Glad you were joining us here on Blue Jay TV. My name's Luke Tanaka, and I'm very excited to have you alongside Concordia University Falcons and Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Elmhurst leading 10-3 on the team score. And DiNardo of Elmhurst is 40 seconds away, but interesting development there, but DiNardo does well to stay under and keep his advantage. Down goes Holdfreder. Elmhurst bench got excited looking for the pin, and instead it'll be 2 more for DiNardo on the takedown. 6-2 he leads. He'll get 1 more point regardless from the riding time. DiNardo's face straight into the mat. And then scraping across it. That did not look pretty. Down it goes once again, and there is the time. So that ends that bout. DiNardo is down. As DiNardo hit the mat really hard, but he's going to get a decision win for Elmhurst. 7-2 is the final, and DiNardo's going to need to definitely see a trainer over there, as that did not look good for him. He is running off under his own power, so that is good to see for sure.
Wrestling at 165 for Concordia, Casey Kingley. For Elmhurst, Alex Maynard.
So DiNardo gets the win. 13-3 Blue Jays, and now Alex Maynard, the junior from St. Charles, Illinois, and St. Charles East High School, takes the mat facing off against Mason Mergener of Concordia. Check that, it's Casey Keneally, I should say, facing off against Maynard. Mergener is actually 174. But this is 165, Casey Keneally and Alex Maynard. Keneally from Hartford, Wisconsin, at Hartford Union High School, a senior. 11-4 overall records, so certainly this one should be a good one. Maynard is a junior, 3-0 record this season as the wrestlers head out of the circle, but Maynard is one heck of a story. Maynard went 5-5 during his freshman campaign, 2012-2013. 8-5 overall with a 3-0 record this year, but was injured, had a neck injury, had a couple of surgeries, and doctors told him he may not ever wrestle again, and not only that, but he may not lift weights really ever again. He's somebody who loves to be in the weight room, loves to pump iron, and so to lose that would certainly be something that, especially even weightlifting, even if it wasn't wrestling, just something to continue that, and he has been able to, and now he's able to be back on the mat. So what a great story it is for Alex Maynard, and really great for the Blue Jays as it bumps Nick DiNardo back down to 157 where he's more comfortable, and it makes this whole lineup better for the Blue Jays. And Maynard did a wonderful job. He debuted this season at the Gator Boot Duels and went 3-0. Along with Quigley, the 2 undefeated performances helped the Blue Jays to a 2-2 record at the Gator Boot Duels. 2 minutes into this first period. No score, both staying at neutral. 13-3 Elmhurst. All the duels except for 149 have been very close. Have not had a pin, only one major decision win so far, and it was Blake Santee over Quinton Lueck at 149. Maynard and Keneally. There goes Maynard for the right leg. Keneally goes down. Maynard, and it looks like an ankle. Maynard is down, and I think it's his left ankle. He can't believe it. Maynard had just come back from an injury. So you just hate to see, you hate to see that, as Maynard coming back from a couple of neck surgeries. You saw him slam the mat, so you know it's not good. And immediately the referee saw it, and immediately the referee, Ryan McKeel, in the middle of it to make sure that nothing else, no more damage was done. But I'd be surprised to see Maynard come back up and continue to wrestle. And it's really a shame as Maynard coming back. He's really been a huge addition to this Elmhurst team. Somebody that you really didn't expect Maynard to be a part of this team this year, and really you didn't know if he was going to be able to lift weights or even wrestle at all and again in his career. So he worked so hard to get back, and you'd hate to see an injury end this season right here, but that may be the case. Maynard is going to be lifted up. He's going to try to walk it off, and it looks like he may continue. Joe Mattingly, the head trainer, one of the trainers here at Elmhurst, is out there talking to him, trying to see what he can and cannot do. Still no score as the wrestlers were at neutral. And we're just 23 seconds to go in the first, and it looks like they're going to get him a brace for that ankle, and maybe a couple braces. Well, they got to put a knee brace on his left knee, so maybe it was the knee and not the ankle. But Maynard is still limping, so this is going to be a tough task for him. What a tough guy Alex Maynard must be. 23 seconds left, and Maynard is going to continue to wrestle after that injury. Maynard accumulating riding time after the injury. Still tied at 0, and that's going to be neutral finish. Boy, Maynard really showing a lot of heart right now. Love to see that. Crowd is very appreciative of the heart shown here. First period, 7.8 remaining. And the period expires. Concordia has the choice and will choose down. Maynard chooses down. Holtfreder looking to put Concordia closer to Elmhurst, who is currently leading 13-3. Maynard up to 32 seconds of riding time. Maynard tried to hit the turn, could not do so. Still has the advantage, but the one for the escape is given, and so it's going to be 1-0. Riding time is at 56 seconds for Maynard. But the 1-0 advantage is to Pierce Holfreder, the junior from Las Vegas and the wrestler for the Falcons. And Maynard is not going to be able to finish the bout. So the win is going to be given by medical forfeit to Keneally. Casey Keneally at 165 pounds wins. And it's a shame to see Alex Maynard go off the mat, as he was a wonderful addition to this Blue Jay team. And it's obviously very frustrating to have to forfeit.
Mason Rogener, and for Elmhurst, Mitch Morris.
So the medical forfeit gives Concordia and puts them each closer to Elmhurst. They give 6 points to the Falcons, and all of a sudden it's a whole new duel, 13-9. Elmhurst leads Concordia as Maynard leaves with an injury. And now Mitch Morris, who's also a huge add for the Blue Jays this year. Morris went 3-11 last year as a sophomore, but has now revitalized himself and is 15-5 with the Blue Jays this season. Two for Morris as they go outside. Let's watch it once again. Morris grabbing the right leg and just getting the takedown before Mason Mergener could get outside of the circle. Escape given to Mergener. 2-1 advantage for Elmhurst in this bout, leading the overall duel 13-9. Mitch Morris has been quite a starter for the Blue Jays at a position where you may not have expected them to have much depth or been able to win from at 174. Morris has done a wonderful job for Elmhurst, especially early in the season. But a 15-5 overall record facing Mason Mergener, who's a sophomore from Crivitz, Wisconsin, in Coleman High School. 10-6 record as a sophomore this year, and last year 9-12 as a freshman. Morris currently leading this bout 2-1. Just 5 seconds of riding time advantage is to Morris. Reminder, Elmhurst in the dark blue, Concordia in the light blue. It's that time at neutral. Both wrestlers left the circle. Mergener just kind of shoving Morris in that direction. Wrestlers locking heads and trying to get some sort of advantage with their arms. Mergener steps out of a potential takedown to his right, and they'll start back at neutral. Morris going for the right leg. Could not get it, so instead came back up and linked arms with him and put his head right to the right of Mergener's. Mergener's move misses, as does Morris's. And that'll be the end of the first period. Morris will defer to Concordia, and Concordia will start down. Mergener, the sophomore from Crivitz, Wisconsin, will start on the bottom. Key bout for the Blue Jays after losing the last one to medical forfeit. And there's an escape to knot up the score at 2. Morris has been a part of all sorts of close duels this season, including against Wheaton, where he pulled an upset and won by 1. And what was a key win for the Blue Jays against the then 12th ranked Thunder. They left the circle there, as you see on the replay. And they're back to wrestling in the middle. Both trying to get some sort of advantage. It's currently tied at 2. Under 1:30 to go here in this second period. And this really could be a turning point for both teams. 13-9, but Concordia has a little bit of momentum after winning the last bout. Although it was by medical forfeit, still getting 6 points for your team. Can be a huge momentum swing, especially if you back it up with another win. And they gave him the takedown. Mergener converts on the takedown just before he heads outside of the circle. And that's been the It's been a quick draw from the official. Ryan McKeel has been quick to call those. That's a huge takedown from Mergener, and then trying to flip it right back was Morris, and he almost pulled it off. Boy, Morris almost pulled off a pin there. There he goes for it again. And there's the takedown for Morris. And then an escape for Mergener. So after all that craziness, it's going to be 5-4 Mergener from Concordia leading Morris of Elmhurst. Boy, what a crazy sequence that was. Most of the bouts have been slow today. But that time, action coming at us quickly. Now just with 5 to go in the second period, Morris of Elmhurst trailing 5-4 in the bout. Elmhurst leading 13-9 in the duel. Morris will choose down, hoping to immediately get an escape and then convert on some sort of points. Mergener would need 53 total seconds of riding time in this period to get to 1 minute and claim the victory, if the score holds right now. Check that, it's actually 5-4. So that means, assuming Morris would get the escape, and not the score at 5, but now just 20 seconds away, as it looks like Mergener's going for the near fall in the pin. Morris trying to avoid it, trying to get up in 10 seconds before they hit a minute of riding time. Morris needs to get up quickly if he wants to avoid the minute. And there's a minute of riding time. So that means a virtual 6-4 advantage right now for Mergener. That means Morris needs a takedown in the next minute and 2 seconds. He needs to escape and then needs to get a takedown or some sort of points. Otherwise, Concordia is going to be right back in it. Morris trying to get out of it, and he does. He needs a takedown here with under a minute to go. Five points each, but Mergener has a minute and 7 of riding time to his credit. This is the most fired up both benches have been. They know it's a key bout and a key turning point in the match. 13-9 Elmhurst, but a win by Mergener here would make it 13-12, just a 1-point advantage for Elmhurst, and keep the momentum in Concordia's favor. 20 seconds for Morris. Everybody's getting into it on the right sideline. Morris with 5. And Mergener's going to win it by staying in bounds. 6-5 is the final for Mergener of Concordia. And so Mason Mergener able to put his team within 1.
Mason beat. And for Elmhurst, Bobby Schillinger.
And now at 184, another key bout. Bobby Schillinger of the Blue Jays against Mason Baumgartner of the Falcons. Both sophomores, but with very different records. Schillinger is 3-9 on the year. Baumgartner 14-3. Schillinger went 6-14 last season for 9-23 overall. It was that time before Schillinger fell to his backside. They were outside of the mat. So Baumgartner obviously getting a few height inches on Schillinger. Wrestling at 184 pounds. Baumgartner was injured last season, so he's a sophomore eligibility-wise. Was 8-11 his freshman season. Schillinger's got the right leg. Looking to get 2. Looking for the takedown. Is it given? Yes, it is. Takedown for Schillinger as they go outside the mat. 2 points for Schillinger. He's 3-9 on the year, but his 4th win would be huge towards Elmhurst chances here in this duel. Not only that, but it'd be quite an upset as Baumgartner 14-3 on the year. And that's going to be 2 for Baumgartner. to switch the riding time right back around. And Baumgartner has the lead. But Elmhurst getting really beat up in this duel so far, if you just joined us. Nick DiNardo at 157 pounds was able to get the win, 7-2 by decision, but in the closing seconds of that bout, he hit his face really hard on the mat twice, and he came up a little bit woozy, but he was able to finish the duel, won by a 7-2 score. And he was able to run off under his own power, but you could tell that he wasn't quite 100%. So you wonder about him, and he'll have to go through concussion protocol and everything before wrestling once again. And then the very next bout, Alex Maynard. It's a great story, coming back from injury. Unfortunately, looked to have rolled his ankle or twisted a knee or something in his left side. Now, here's Schillinger. Look out for the near fall or the fall here. Schillinger trying to keep himself up. Baumgartner looking for the pin. Referee is down on the mat, and there it is. The pin is given. Baumgartner wins for Concordia, gets his team 6 more points, and puts Concordia into their first lead of the duel. As we check it out right here, you can see Schillinger was originally trying to keep his head up and his shoulders off the mat, but it was not able to hold, and instead, it's 6 points for Concordia and a 5-point lead, 18-13.
For Concordia, Jake Luther. For Elmhurst, Luis Montoya.
197-pound bout now becomes critical for Elmhurst if they want a chance at 285 to clinch this match. Luis Montoya wrestling for the Blue Jays at 197. Sophomore from Lockport, Illinois, and Lockport High School. He's facing Jake Rutler, senior from New Berlin, Wisconsin, New Berlin West High School, senior with a 12-2 record. 184 and 197, key positions for Concordia, 2 of their best positions, along with 133. Montoya is looking to get on the shoulders. Montoya is close if he can get down. And instead, it's going to be a takedown for Concordia and Rutler. Rutler gets 2 on the board as he's on top. But boy, that was close. Rutler with a lift, and as Montoya looked like he was just about to get out of it instead. And it looks like Alex Maynard, it is a knee injury for Maynard. He is icing that left knee and is out of the training area, and it's just ice at this point. We'll see if we can get word from the trainer. But as of right now, Alex Maynard is sitting on the bench with ice on his knee. DiNardo has also emerged after what seemingly looked like a potential concussion. And he has been out cheering on his teammates just fine. So that's a good sign for both of the Elmhurst wrestlers that they're out here. It looks like Maynard's taking the ice off, so that's good to see. And so 2 more this time for Concordia, 4-1. Marinetti on the right sideline is furious that Ryan McKeel already gave the takedown. And then there's 2 for Elmhurst now, as that's a reversal for the Blue Jays. Montoya originally looked like and then the 2 again on the reversal. So 6-3, lots of action these last couple of bouts. Rudler had the takedown, Montoya had the reversal, and then Rudler hit on another takedown as we end the first period. It's 6-3 in favor of the Falcon wrestler, Rudler. And a win here would seal it for Concordia. regardless of the decision in the final bout of the day at 285. Montoya starts the second period on top, trying to erase the riding time, but still trailing by 3. Montoya 8-5 overall in the year. He's a sophomore. 5-3 in his first year with the Blue Jays, 13-8 overall as a member of Elmhurst College's teams. Rutler reached the NCAAs last year as a junior, 22-16 on the year, 15-14 as a sophomore, 14-18 as a freshman. Under a minute to go in the second period. Montoya still riding, but needs to convert on a takedown in the third, along with riding for the next 30 seconds or so if he wants a chance to defeat last year's NCAA participant in Rutler. Rutler coming up. Rutler's up and Montoya's on him, and Rutler's going to try to spin around, but Montoya stays on top. Montoya has reached the minute of riding time with under 10 to go in the second period. So virtually 6-4 as we head into the third. 6-3 on the scoreboard, and Montoya will have the opportunity to choose up or down. He chooses down. Interesting choice. He's got 15 seconds to get up if he wants to keep the riding time point. Rutler able to keep Montoya in his grasp. Montoya trying to get out of it. He's under the minute of riding time right now, so either way, Montoya needs to get up and convert on a takedown if he wants to win this duel. And really, this bout is key for Elmhurst. If they want any chance, they really need Montoya to win this one. Unfortunately, for the Blue Jays, he's slightly outmatched by Rutler, who is a former NCAA participant. Montoya just 8-5 on the year this year, 5-3 last year at 197. A minute remaining in the third. And really a minute remaining in Elmhurst's hopes in this duel. Rutler once again looking for the throw. And Montoya gets out of it. Assistant coach is prodding on Montoya. He needs a takedown. And Rutler does well to get out of that one. Trying to circle around is Rutler. He got it. Rutler circled around and got the takedown. 2 more points, and he might even get a pin here. Looking for the pin or the near fall. Either way, this is probably going to turn out to be a win for Rutler and a win for Concordia in the duel. Waiting for the call from the official. Ryan McKeel is all over it. Montoya trying to keep his head up for 8 seconds longer to avoid a fall. With 3, with 2, with 1, and he will avoid the fall, but he will not avoid the loss. Give 3 near fall points, and the final will be 11-4 in favor of Concordia. So they've won the last 4. And so it's just a decision win for Rutler, but either way, with the dual score now 21-13, even if Zach Urbanski wins by fall here against Concordia, there's no chance. 2 and looking for the fall.
And for Concordia, Paul Carter.
It's Paul Carter. There was some confusion as to who would be wrestling for Concordia in this duel. Came down to the final seconds, and the coaches finally chose Paul Carter, junior, 1-6 record from Waukesha, Wisconsin, and Waukesha South High School. Urbanski, a junior from Downers Grove and Downers Grove North. He's a junior and has a 7-7 overall record, and he's played really key roles in some of the Blue Jay wins. He clinched Elmhurst's win over Wheaton College. Urbanski doing well here over Carter. Currently leading 4-0. 30 seconds of riding time. Just over 30 seconds into the duel. And Carter looks very much overmatched by Urbanski here. But either way, Concordia is going to come out of this duel a winner. They've won the last 4 bouts, including 2 that added up to 12 points. Casey Keneally won by medical forfeit over Alex Maynard, and then Mason Baumgartner won by fall over Bobby Schillinger. Urbanski lets him up for 1 point for the escape, trying to gain some more points for the Blue Jays. So they'll start at neutral in the center. It looks like we have blood on Urbanski. Boy, Blake Stanchi tried to throw the water bottle to him, and Urbanski just whiffed on it. So if anything, we got some humor from the Elmhurst sideline, a sideline that won't be very happy after this one as they fall to Concordia. Currently 21-13 in the overall duel score, and Elmhurst hasn't won a bout since Nick DiNardo won by decision at 157, 7-2, and really a couple of injuries. DiNardo came up woozy after his face got drilled into the mat at the final seconds of his bout. And then after that, Alex Maynard had to finish a medical forfeit because of hurting his knee early in the first period. He tried to gut it out and did a great job of doing so, but just could not finish the bout and had to shake hands before the finish. So 1:08 to go here in the first period of the final bout of the day. Elmhurst College Blue Jays and Concordia University Falcons. The Falcons have already clinched the win so far, the win in the overall duel, but we still have the 285 bout to be contested. Both wrestlers will start at neutral, and here we go. Urbanski already looking for the right leg. They're going to be outside of the circle. But Urbanski moving quickly out of that stoppage, and once again moving very quickly. But this time just trying to lock, and there he goes, trying to sweeps the left leg. Down goes Carter. And still waiting on the 2. They'll give him the 2 there. So 6-1 Urbanski, along with 90 seconds plus of riding time. Elmhurst bench trying to cheer on Urbanski, trying to perhaps get him a fall. The Elmhurst wins today. They've 3 decisions and 1 major decision to get to 13 points. Concordia got a win by decision from their All-American Sean Ambrosio. Win by medical forfeit, 2 decisions and a fall to get to their 21 points. That'll end the first period, and it'll give us a chance to congratulate Gina Vanier, who saying put the gun down on American Idol yesterday and is off to Hollywood. So congrats to Gina, former Blue Jay TV announcer, now American Idol superstar. So we'll see how far she can go on her road through American Idol. Congrats to her, and also congrats are in order for John Reglin, who earned men's soccer goalie here as we get a takedown from Urbanski. Reglin earned third-team All-America honors in men's soccer, so congrats to him as well. Blue Jays all around having some success, and it's always nice to see Blue Jays getting recognized, whether for their singing talents or their talents on the field. Veneer was also a softball player here at Elmhurst, an athlete in her own right. So Urbanski leads 11-1. They'll get one for the escape, and then Urbanski right back at it. Perhaps trying to go for the fall or the technical fall. And Carter looks pretty defenseless at this point. 90 seconds and under 90 seconds to go in the second period. But Urbanski is just relentless at this point. And it's good to see him wrestling hard, even though the overall duel has already been decided. 21-13 Concordia, and they'll come out of R.A. Fagnall Hall with a victory. Down goes Carter, and Urbanski with two more, 13-2 on the scoreboard, and add 2 minutes and 30 seconds of riding time onto that. Almost outside of the circle. If Carter moves his left leg to the right, and there it is. He is outside of the circle, and they will start with Urbanski on top in the middle. 51 seconds to go. Center of the mat, they end up in the second period here. Urbanski just staying relentless, and he's going to let Carter come up and give him the escape. And Urbanski, but he's not going to let him breathe for a second now, is he? And another takedown. 15-2. Check that, that's 3 because they gave Carter the escape. So 15-3. So at 14, if he gets one more point, that's a technical fall, and or check that, he needs 3 more, I should say. He needs to win by 15. If he gets a 15-point advantage, it will be a technical fall. So we'll see if Urbanski goes for that. 24 seconds remaining in the second period. Duel already decided. Concordia's going to come out here as a winner regardless of what happens in this one. Urbanski's going to stay on top this time instead of conceding the escape. "15 seconds left in the second period. Urbanski looking for the big win. He's already, if the ended right now, it would be major decision, but I'm sure he's still looking for the technical fall. End of the second period. Carter wants neutral and some encouragement shouting from that sideline. Urbanski has been relentless in this bout, up 15-3, up 3.5 minutes plus of riding time, and down goes Carter, and Carter looks like he hit his head. And so it's going to be 2 for a takedown, and Carter is still down, slowly getting up. He's probably a little woozy after that one. That one was tough, and I'm not sure if his head hit the mat or if his head hit the hardwood floor. Trainers were ready to come out. Let's check it out on the replay really quick, and looks like it's going to be conceded. So it's going to be a final from Elmhurst. Is going to be Concordia is going to come out of here a winner. Going to be a medical forfeit officially for Urbanski. Actually, I'm going to check that. That's going to be a technical fall for Urbanski on that last takedown. Urbanski wins by technical fall. So your final from Elmhurst is 21-18 Concordia. Although it looks close, Concordia had it clinched by the 285 bout. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the help we've gotten with the broadcast. Glenn Liljeberg to my left, doing the camera operating and the technical directing and all that he does. Thank you, and good night from Elmhurst. Final score, Concordia 21, Elmhurst 18.